Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well, and welcome to today's episode of What We Have Here. So before we continue, please click on the subscribe button to stay connected. Two sisters living in the spotlight, building empires. Kim is the mogul, the makeup queen, the media magnet. Kourtney, more laid back, loves a slower pace, but still part of the same glittery machine. Then, during one heated exchange, Kim unleashes, maybe if you had a FING business you were passionate about. Fast forward to the courtroom, and guess who's pointing the same verbal rocket back at Kim? That's right, Kourtney. The audacious remark intended for Kourtney becomes her weapon. Suddenly, Kim's line echoes in her own courtroom defense. The irony is delicious, right? Why does this matter? Because it's not just gossip. It's a peek into themes many of us know: sibling rivalry, feelings of invisibility, the pressure to succeed, and what happens when someone else's business becomes your battleground. Words are funny little creatures. They can boost you, break you, or be used as darts by someone who knows exactly where your soft spot is. In this case, Kim's line at Kourtney carried layers. Business envy? Validation seeking? Simple irritation? And now, Kourtney brings it back. That move says, I hear you. Now look at you. If you throw words carelessly, they might come back like a boomerang. If someone uses your own phrase against you, it hits differently. It's intimate. We'll be honest, the courtroom isn't exactly the most glamorous place for a family spat. But when it is, it's telling. Kourtney didn't just sit quietly. She weaponized a phrase her sister used. The message? You threw this at me. Now it's in play. It's easy to watch this and think, oh, well, that's celebrity drama. Thank goodness it's not me. But let's flip the mirror. Vulnerability hides behind success. Even someone with millions, multiple businesses, global recognition can feel unseen or criticized by those closest. Passion isn't enough. Perception matters. Kim's line targeted Kourtney's passion, or lack thereof. But Kourtney turned it around to target perception. You think you're more passionate than me? Your voice, used against you, becomes disadvantageous. Ironic? Yes. Fair? Maybe not. But real. For anyone reading this and thinking, I've been there, you're in good company. Because this is less about fame, more about relationship dynamics, and more importantly, how we value ourselves. Here's where it gets practical. It's one thing to read about this mess. It's another to apply something useful from it. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, and let's make this helpful. Before letting a sentence fly, take a breath. Ask, will this be used against me later? Will I regret it? If someone says to you, maybe if you had a business you were passionate about, instead of internalizing, you might respond, I do have a passion, thank you. And it's not up for debate. Let's imagine you're in a situation not too far from the Kardashians, minus the huge net worth and reality show cameras. You've built something, maybe a business, a side gig, a passion project. Meanwhile, a sibling or coworker says, well, if you were truly passionate, you'd do more.
Ouch.
Sound familiar? You can react defensively and allow the sting to derail you. Reclaim your narrative. Actually, I am passionate. I'm doing what's meaningful to me. Set boundaries. Let's not turn this into who's doing more. Let's focus on what we're doing. Suddenly, the emotional momentum shifts. You're not the wounded one. You're the one taking control. Curious about how to keep that momentum going and not slide back into passive mode? That's coming next. Identity and work. What does your business or passion mean? Are you doing it for yourself or for someone else's approval? Words and wounds. Words can heal or hurt. They can be harmless or happen to be the one that cracks the dam. What's the line you've heard in your life that stung? Or maybe the one you threw and later regretted? I'd love to hear your story. Share it below. And if this piece made you pause and think or even laugh, pass it on to someone you know who's dealing with sibling rivalry, work stress, or just trying to hold their voice. Because if non-celebrity folks like us can learn from the Kardashians' courtroom drama, then imagine what you can take away from yours. Share your thoughts. Drop a comment. Let's keep the conversation going.